to stand. So we're find our space, and if you have the feet at least width apart, so just have a sense of connection to the ground and get that nice sense that you're upright, you're tall, and the ground beneath supports you. And we can soften the knees and just rock the arms a little bit from side to side. So we're starting to warm up the shoulder girdle a little bit and the spine with this one, but we're going to ultimately work towards lengthening the hamstrings and easing into our lower back and our hips. So we start quite gently, just rotating from side to side. And then as we're moving from side to side, if we soften the knees, can we gradually just start to go forward? Let the arms be heavy, because they are heavy, just let them go, and let go of the weight to the head as well. Maybe soften or move the jaw. And you might find that your hands come to the floor. If you've got, I've got long arms, or your hands might come onto the knees, and the knees can be quite bent. And then ever so carefully, just bringing yourself back up to stand and stop there for a few moments. And then we're just going to let all our weight sink into the right foot. So being quite careful, soft with ourselves, and then shift the weight over to the left foot. So really finding a whole sense that you can choose to pour the weight of your body into one side and then the other side. Just doing that a few times, just easing into each side. So it's a really good way to help our balance when we shift the weight from side to side, because then we know what our habits are, because most of us do prefer to be on one side. And now can we see if we can balance the weight equally into both feet? And we'll just work with our breath a little bit. So if you look down at your feet, just have that sense of connection equal into both feet. And then as you breathe in, take the arms out. Breathing in, as the arms go up, take the gaze up. And then as you breathe out, as the arms lower, the gaze can lower. As you breathe in, taking the arms up and the gaze can go up, if it's okay with your neck. And then as you breathe out, take the arms down and the gaze can go down. So just carefully easing into these movements with yourself. And knowing that you don't have to do a lot in order to find release or quiet within the joints of the body. Then the next time the arms come down, stay there, that's okay. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider. Feel the outside edges of the feet as well as the inside edges of the feet. So we're never mindlessly moving with our body. When we come onto our yoga mat, we're mindful. We're really being aware of each movement and each sensation in our body. If we're going to allow the weight to pour down into the left foot, so remember how we were working with before. And if you turn your gaze to look towards the left ankle, the outside edge of the left ankle, and then bring up the right heel, so that will really let the weight sink down into the left foot a little bit more. Turn the right heel out, if possible, and take the right arm up. And then as the right heel goes down, can you send the right arm over towards the left? So now we can feel that length on the outside of the right hip. If the heel goes down or all the way to the floor, if it can, then bend the knees round through the spine, round forward, and come back up. So just a nice little side bend and opening the outside of the hip. So then rebalance the weight through the feet. Then let your weight rest down into the right foot. And as you pour the weight into the right foot through the right leg, lift up the left heel. Turn the gaze, look towards the outside edge of the right ankle. Turn the left heel out, and if it's okay, take the left arm up. And as the right hand travels down the outside of the right leg, the left arm can go over. So you can feel that length on the outside of the left hip. If you can bring the left heel down, you increase that length. Soften the knees round through the spine to bring yourself back up. And then stop there for a few moments. You might want to do this little one again. It's always one of my all-time favourites for any kind of discomfort in the lower back or around the shoulders. If you've been sitting all day, as most of us are, or if we've been moving and doing things that we're rushing around or not aware of, it's a really good way to ease into the spine. And then we'll go back, we'll just do that side bend one more time, and then we'll start at working the hamstrings. So if we take the feet maybe a little bit wider, but don't go too wide or anything like that. You always want to feel as though you can come out of things. Let the weight pour down into the left foot, so that will make the right heel lighter. So then when you bring the right heel up, you've already done the work really. Turn the right heel out to the right, take the right arm up, but let the right shoulder really rest. There's space between the right ear and the right shoulder. The left hand eases down the outside of the left leg and the right arm goes over and the right heel goes towards the floor. So the closer the right heel goes to the floor, the further away the right hand goes away from the heel, the more length and opening we can find through the right side of the body. Make sure you're breathing, try not to hold your breath. Soften the knees, round forward, and then come back up. Stop for a few moments and notice that, if you were holding your breath, really allow yourself to breathe. Your body knows what it's doing. It's often up here that changes things around. So now we're going to let the weight rest down into the right foot and let the left heel be light. And then we can turn the left heel out to the left and take the left arm up, but allow the shoulder to feel quite easy. So there's always space between the ear and the shoulders. We're not compressing the neck, we're not forcing. You don't have to take the arm up if it's too much for you. Take the gaze on the outside edge of the right ankle, and as the right hand goes down, the left arm goes over. As the left arm goes over to the right, imagine the upper arm more or less in line with the left ear, and then bring the left heel towards the floor, almost in increments, by stages, stages, stages. So as the left arm goes away, far away to the right, the left heel goes further and further towards the floor. Soften the knees, round through the spine, and come back up. Stop there for a few moments. Maybe just shrug or move the shoulders around a little bit. So we're going to again allow the weight to sink into the right foot. Let the right foot be quite stable, connected to the floor. Lift up the left heel and just take a small step forward with the left foot. So I'll turn to the side. Small step forward with the left foot. So we can still, perhaps you can feel the weight equal into both feet. Now if we bring up that back heel, let the weight pour down into the front foot, into the left leg, the left foot. Bring the hands towards the left knee. Let go of the weight of your head. And then maybe we can bring the hands a little bit lower to the ankle or to the floor. And then if possible, can you then ease the right heel, the back heel down so we feel the stretch. So your hands might be on the knee, they might not have gone all the way to the floor, it's fine. Or you might want to have the hands on a chair, it's fine. So this will really lengthen the back of the legs. You can feel that through the backs of the knees, through the backs of the ankles. And then carefully, if the hands are on the floor, walk the hands back to the knees, walk the hands back up and step back. Stop for a few moments, then let the weight pour down into the left foot and step the right foot forward. So maybe now first, maybe a bit of equal weight into both. You can shift forward and back. And then when we bring the back heel up, let the weight sink down into the right foot. So your awareness and your attention on the way that your body is moving is everything when it comes to well-being. And then we're going to see if we can bring the hands onto the right knee. And that might be enough for you. You might not want to do any more than that. If you can, as we bring the back heel down, so you can feel the length through the back of the legs, the hamstring muscles, the upper thighs, and then maybe we can bring the hands towards the floor. But just sort of see where you are. Try not to bend the knees. If the knees bend, that's okay as well. But see, you can bend the knees, but then can you straighten the knees? Maybe work that a few times. You can bend the knees, and can you straighten the knees? Just kind of see. And when I say straighten, I don't kind of mean lock. There's a difference between pushing the knees back and just straightening. And then when you're ready, bring the hands back onto the right knee, rest down into the feet to lift the spine and step back. So we're just going to do that one more time and then we'll progress it. So let the weight pour into the left foot and step the right foot forward. Lift the left heel, take the hands onto the right knee and see if the hands can go lower, or the hands might want to stay on the knee. If the hands go lower, think of widening the shoulders, think of sending the crown of the head forward and then send the back heel down. You can bend the knees, you can straighten the knees, just kind of see, or lengthen the knees, think of opening the backs of the knees, and then carefully rest down into the feet, base the toes, big toe, little toe and heel down into the feet to lift up the spine and step back. So it's quite strong movements in your back, lower back. So bring the left foot forward, and if you bring the right heel up, you can feel the weight go down into the front foot, and then we bring the hands onto the front knee, the hands a little bit lower, and then bring the back heel down or towards the floor. It might not go all the way. You can bend the knees if that feels easier, and then straighten the legs. Just sort of see how that is. It's a really good movement through the back of the legs. and strengthening the lower back muscles as well as mobilising the hips. And then when you're ready, rest down into the feet to lift the spine back up and step back. So we're just going to do that one more time, and we're just going to bring in a rotation. So rest down into the left foot and take the right foot forward. Stop there for a few moments. You can bring up the back heel again, just feel that sense of connection, resting down into the front foot. And then bring the hands onto the right knee. Stop there for a few moments. Don't have to take the hands to the floor or anything like that this time. If it's okay, send the back heel down as you send the left arm out to the side. I'll just turn so you can see. Left arm goes out to the side. Palm is facing down. The right hand might go a little bit lower down the right leg. And then you take the left arm up. So it's just a bit of a twist through the upper spine. And then lower and step back. Take the left foot forward. Let both hands come to rest on the left knee. You can lift up that back heel if you like. Just kind of get a sense of that movement through the feet. If the back heel is lifted, the spine will move forward a little bit. And as the back heel goes down, can you send the right arm out to the side, palms facing up? The left hand can go a little bit lower as the right arm goes up. Or if it's too much, you keep the right arm down. You're just feeling that little bit of a twist through the spine. And then lower the arm, come back up and step back. Right, so we're going to work at coming down towards the floor now. So we're going to keep the feet at least at width apart. Bring the hands onto the knees, and the knees can be quite soft. Really have a sense of the outside edge of the feet, the little toe side resting down, the inside edge of the feet, the big toe side resting down. Hands can come a little bit lower, let go of the weight of your head. You can keep the knees a little bit soft if you need to. Can you bring the hands onto the floor? Can you start to walk the hands forward? See if you can go into a bit of a down dog sort of shape. The knees can be quite soft. Soften the elbows as well and let go of the weight of your head. Maybe walk one knee or bend one knee at a time. So just easing into the backs of the legs. Then ever so carefully when you're ready, bring the knees down, flatten your feet and ease your hips back towards your heels. If that feels doable. If it's not, obviously you just go to where your hips allow you to go. And then we're going to do some floor work. So if you come over onto your backs, that's it, all done. And then the soles of your feet, keep the soles of your feet flat to the floor so your knees are bent. Just stop there for a few moments, having that sense of the weight of your body just being now allowed to be given to the floor. And we're going to bring the right knee in. So if you take your hands underneath the right knee, just to ease the knee in, circle the right ankle, a few times one way, then the other way, and then point the toes away, draw the toes towards you, point the toes away, draw the toes towards you. And then carefully take that right leg up towards the ceiling, and the hands can just rest on the thigh. If anything, send the leg away a little bit. You've got more space in the front of the hip. Point the toes away, draw the toes towards you. And just doing that a few times, it's a really good exercise to keep your ankles strong and mobile. If your ankles are strong and mobile, that will really help your knees and your hips, help your balance and the whole way that your body transfers its weight through to the ground. And then circle the ankle, right ankle. And then one more little exercise. It's a really good one to do with the feet and with the knees and the leg. So if you look at your foot, your right foot, the outside edge of the foot, the little toe side, push up and draw the big toe side down, the inner edge down. So you can feel the outer calf muscle stretch, the inner calf muscle will contract. Then do the other side, push the big toe side up, draw the little toe side of the foot down. So you're almost as though you're sliding through the ankle. The ankle joint's a condyloid joint, so it has the ability to slide. And then do that a few times. So push the little toe side up, draw the big toe side down. And then reverse, push the big toe side up, draw the little toe side down. So you can, that really helps strengthen your knees as well when you work with that. And then if you've done that a few times, give the leg a shake. It's really good for circulation as well, especially if you've been getting swollen ankles or sluggish circulations. It's really good for that. So now if you take the hands again around the back of the thigh, bend the knee, and then just lengthen, if possible, lengthen the left leg along the floor. So as you lengthen the left leg along the floor, take your attention to the left heel. Now draw or push the left heel down. So the weight of your heel, the heel bone is a really strong, heavy bone. And if that heel bone can really rest into the floor, that will help release the hip. So now relax the left leg and ease the right knee a little bit closer down. Have a sense of the left heel going down as you ease the right knee a little bit closer in. Now if possible, keep the knee quite close as you send the right leg up. And if that's enough for you, you don't have to do any more than that. The knee can stay quite soft. If possible, can you take the hands a little bit higher up towards the ankle, the right ankle. Ease the right knee down. Think of the left heel going down, left heel on the floor going down as you ease the right leg a little bit lower. Maybe the right hands might catch around the right toes. The knee can be quite bent. You might find, some of you might find, that you can lengthen the leg up, but you don't have to. You can keep the knee quite soft, or you can just work at the hands around the back of the thigh, just bending the knee, lengthening the leg. So it's kind of like what we were doing when we were standing. It's the same movement. We're working the hamstring muscles, the back of the thighs, and the hips, the back of the hip, the lower back muscles. And then just see if you can, as the knee comes a little bit closer in, take the hands a little bit higher towards the ankle. Maybe one hand might go around the toes, and then see if you can lengthen the leg up towards the ceiling. But if not, you keep the hands around the back of the thigh, or you keep the hands around the calf. Circle the ankle a little bit, wiggle your toes, and then you might find the leg might come a little bit closer down. Feel the weight of your head, feel the weight of your shoulders. And then carefully, when you're ready, bend the knee, place the right foot on the floor. Just stop for a few moments, and then just rock the knee, the right knee from side to side, because it's quite a big movement sort of coming in towards the body, like a flexion movement. So we just rock from side to side just to create a little bit more of an all-round movement with the hip, because the hip's a ball and socket joint, so that's a circle. And then gradually draw the knee in again. Left hand goes on the right knee, and just draw that right knee over to the left. The right shoulder can come off if it feels comfortable for you, so you're drawing that hip up. So then you can, with your right hand, just give the right hip a little bit of a pat or a rub. And maybe with the knuckles of your right hand, you can massage around the lower back. There's quite a big movement through the right side. And then carefully, when you're ready, just ease the leg back. Hands underneath the right knee, then draw the left knee in. So both knees coming towards you, and notice the right knee probably feels, or the right leg probably feels a lot different to the other side. And then rock from side to side. So we're going to do those same movements on the left now. So come to centre, both hands underneath the left knee, place the right foot on the floor, so keep the right knee bent. Circle the left ankle and wiggle your toes. So mobilising your ankle is a really beneficial thing for your health. It's not something that we often do, and it is something that we can easily do without being on a yoga mat. You can do it when you're sitting or before you get out of bed in the morning. And then when you're ready, just take the leg up towards the ceiling, point the toes away, draw the toes towards you, and notice if you have one hand on the front of the knee, one hand on the back of the knee, you can feel the knee respond to those really quite easy movements, really. And then circle the ankle, and then we'll just do that movement where we slide through the joints. So if you think the outside edge of the foot, the little toe side push up, so you think of drawing the big toe side down, and then the opposite, push the big toe side of the foot, the inner edge up, and draw the little toe side down. So know that then the outside edge of the calf muscle has to contract, the inside edge lengthens, then reverse, so draw the big toe side down, push the little toe side up. And if you're contracting those muscles, which you have to, in the outer edge of the calf or inner edge of the calf, then you're working the inner edge or outer edge of the knee and also the hip. Just doing that a few times. So always kind of have that sense, whatever you're doing with your ankle, whatever you're doing with your foot really has a beneficial effect on the rest of your leg. And then stop, and then give the leg a bit of a shake, because if that's the first time you've done that or haven't done that for a while, it can really make the ankle ache, which is good because it's worked. And then stop, bend the knee, take the hands underneath the knee, just ease the knee down, and then if it's okay, lengthen the right leg along the floor. So again, be aware of your right heel, the right heel resting down, down, down. You can push down into the right heel, and that will make the right leg and the right hip really start to work. and then let go. But really, can we still have that sense of the right heel resting down? Feel the weight of your head. If you draw your chin slightly down, that allows the neck to lengthen a little bit, and ease the left leg a little bit closer. But also be aware that the weight, the gravity around us allows the weight of the leg just to ease down. So you don't have to push or force or stretch too much at all, really. And really it's detrimental to keep stretching or forcing our body into shapes. And then when you're ready, you can keep the knee quite bent. Can we take the left leg or the left lower leg or foot up towards the ceiling? And can we take the hands a little bit higher towards the ankle? And keep the knee quite close. Think of bringing, and it's quite, don't get scared. Think of bringing the toes over towards the top of the head. So if you rest down into the right heel, when you rest down through the left knee, think of the left knee coming down towards the left shoulder, and then just think of the toes, the left toes going beyond the top of the head. Maybe the left hand might catch hold of the toes, or it can stay around the back of the thigh, or the hands can stay around the calf muscle, or the hands can go around the toes. And every now and again, circle your ankles. That just helps release the muscles a little bit. So you're not trying to get out of the habit or the feeling that you have to yank your leg or pull it down. We're not. We just want to ease the weight of the leg down into the hip. So imagine you can feel the weight of the leg. You can feel the left hip really resting into the floor. The right heel settles down as the left leg comes a little bit closer. And we know that you breathe. And then when you're ready, let go. Bend the left knee, bring the left foot on the floor, and just rock the knee from side to side. Just rock it a little bit. Now you know the ball and socket joint of the hip likes to move in different directions. And then we're going to draw the left knee in, place the right hand on the left knee, and ease the knee over towards the right. So the left shoulder can come off the floor if it needs to. You can place your left hand on the left hip and just give it a light little bit of a pat on the outside, and you can use your knuckles to massage around the muscles in the lower back, because we've been working this movement. This position works the hamstrings, lengthens the hamstrings, stretches the hamstrings. It also has a really good beneficial effect of strengthening the lower back muscles as well. Whatever we do with our legs affects our hips, affects our spine. Then carefully just ease back, can draw the knee in, and then draw the right knee in. So now both knees coming towards us, and we can rock from side to side, just easing into the back of the body. Come to centre, then place your feet on the floor. Hands can rest down by your sides. We're just going to do a small back bend or bridge position. So taking your time, first of all being aware of the weight of your body resting on the floor. Feeling the curve of the skull, the back of your head, the shoulders, the hips and the feet. Just having that sense that the ground beneath supports you. So now, when we push down into the feet, the base, the big toes, little toes and heels, use that feeling of going down through the feet to lift the hips. So we go down into the feet to lift the hips off the floor. So before, when we were drawing the legs in towards us, we were closing, in a sense, the front of the hips. Now we're opening and we're lengthening the front of the hips. So we're doing more or less the opposite movement. We're extending the spine. Then ever so carefully lower the spine back down. Feel the weight of the body rest into the floor. Let your knees just rock a little bit to the right. Come back to centre. Let your knees rock a little bit to the left. Just rock from side to side. Just feeling how that is. And then we just try one more time, come back to centre. You can adjust your feet if you like. They can go a little bit further away, a little bit closer in. If you feel anything in your knees, then the heels should be just below the level of the knees. But otherwise, if everything feels okay, the position that you take is absolutely right for you. We rest down into the feet. If you wiggle your toes, find the base of the toes, then lift the toes and push down into the base of the toes, and then let the toes themselves come down. Imagine you can feel the outside edge of the heel, the inside edge of the heel, the inside edge of the foot, the outside edge of the foot, and then you lift the hips. And you have that real sense of connecting down through the feet. Connecting down as the spine lifts, feel the weight resting down into the shoulders. so you can feel the weight resting into the back of the head. And all those sensations in your body, feel those sensations, feel the breath inside, the connection with the ground beneath and the space underneath the spine. And when you're ready, ever so carefully lower your spine back down. Feel the weight of the pelvis, because it's heavy what we have to do. And then if it's okay, draw your knees in towards you. So that's just reverse movement. Hands can rest on the knees and rock a little bit from side to side. We can keep the right knee in as we lengthen the left leg along the floor. So just as we did before, but a little bit softer. Then draw the left knee in. Keep the left knee in as we lengthen the right leg along the floor. And then see what it feels like if you lengthen both legs along the floor. If anything's going on in your lower back and you'd rather keep the knees bent, then you bend the knees back up. Let the arms come to rest down by your sides, or you can have the hands resting on the belly or the abdomen. And if it's okay for you to close your eyes, close your eyes. And for a few moments or so, allow yourself to notice and be aware of, totally aware of, the position that you're in. The feeling of the body resting on the floor, the connection through the back of the head, the curve of your skull, the connection through the back of your shoulders, the curve of the ribs, the weight through your lower back and your hips, the parts of your legs in contact with the floor and your heels. And notice as you scan through your body, are there any parts that feel a little bit uncomfortable? Where does your attention go? And we're not trying to ignore any part of our body. Can you send your attention to each part that perhaps is drawn there? And breathe into that area. So it might be breathing into your lower back, breathing into a knee, breathing into a shoulder. But breathing in kindly to your body and befriending anything that we feel. And as we breathe out, can we have that sense of the breath leaving our body but allowing our body to rest a little bit deeper into the floor beneath. And then we know that our breath comes back in and we don't have to take the breath. The breath is given to us. And as we breathe out, we freely give the breath back, because we know another one will come back in. And as we breathe, perhaps with that possibility that there is such relief in knowing that we don't have to do anything. We can allow our body to be as it is, and any feelings or sensations that we feel, we can allow them to be there. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to be different. All there is to do is be with ourselves, our body and our breath. And as we prepare to come out of the practice now, noticing and being aware of how this relatively short time with yourself has allowed you to feel, how your body feels, how your thoughts are. And ever so carefully starting to move your fingers, move your toes, you can roll the shoulders. Taking your time, and keep the eyes closed if that feels okay, keeping the eyes closed. If the legs are straight, drawing the knees in towards you. Maybe rocking a little bit from side to side and only coming to rest onto your side when you're ready. Taking your time, opening your eyes, knowing where you are. And then in your own time coming to sit up.